a lot of people in the media not talking about small business and what's happening in Michigan. I want to introduce you to someone, James Tuber, small business owner. You're involved in a lot. We're in Genesee County right now. Where are we right now?
We're at Bees Bowling Center, 750 South Center Road.
Okay. So how did you start? Would you call yourself an entrepreneur?
I would think so, yes.
Yeah. So how did it start?
I started mowing the lawn for a bowling center, but I bowled, prior to that, I bowled from the time I was age 6. Obviously, my mom was a coach and coached youth bowling on Saturday mornings. We obviously knew the general manager of the bowling center. When I was 14 or 15, he hired me to mow the lawn at the bowling center. And then since then, I've done every job in the bowling center and worked my way up to being an owner.
Wow. So, yeah, that's your life. And you also own, what else are you
involved? I'm a partner in Sagano, and I have 2 or 3 other small businesses that aren't usually customer facing. Yeah. Certainly what I've found in my career was I had to diversify somewhat in order to be able to do what I do, and nobody's paying for my retirement but me. So I have rentals. I do that as well.
How bowling? Let's get back to bowling really quick. I love bowling, but how is bowling in this country? You don't hear a lot about it, but there are diehard bowlers. But what's the feel in the world of the bowling world?
So bowling is still the number 1 participation sport in the world. It has been for a really long time. Over 70 million people a year bowl. Still extremely popular. The part of bowling that isn't as popular is league bowling, where people would commit to bowling 15, 20, 30 weeks consecutively throughout the course of a season. And some of that, as lifestyles change, those things change too. League bowling is still very strong, especially in Genesee County and in Michigan, but it's still not as strong as it once was.
Just to get the word out, it's fun as well. I mean, I may not be good at it, but you don't have to be good at it to be involved. It's about the camaraderie, having fun, getting out there, socializing, getting off your phone.
Certainly, and you're exactly right. And if there's one thing that COVID taught us after we were locked down, was that socialization and being part of something is way more important than a lot of things that we've done historically. So in some ways, that's been good for my sport because people want to get out, they want to socialize, and that is the goal in bowling. Is being able to meet on a weekly basis with your buddies, talk about the Lions, and they've actually given us something to talk about in a positive way. So that's the goal in bowling. It's the people you meet and the fun. We're competitive by nature, and so a little competition goes a long way as well.
You don't have to be. I'm not going to make the Professional Bowlers Association, but it's just about having fun as well, because that's what it's about, community. You all about community, and that's a big thing. I'm meeting a lot of business owners. You care deeply about your community. That's what you're about. Like, I see the signs in here about, donations or leagues or helping people.
Right, and certainly as bowling changed and as we had fewer league bowlers, we had to kind of reinvent ourselves, and those that are still in business essentially did. And at one point, we came to the conclusion here that we needed to do things like fundraisers that would bring people in. And so in 2019, we did 80 fundraisers, and we're talking about some pretty big ones as well, but not just hey, Joe's got cancer and we need to have a spaghetti dinner, but much larger than that. We've got fundraisers that raise in excess of $20,000 a year. So that was one of the ways we, made our center more viable in the community. And we're also very big in high school bowling and in general. And in some cases, it's just good marketing for us. But in other cases, I mean, it's anybody who's ever been involved in high school sports will tell you that it's a great thing. And so us being able to be the host facility and do our part is a great thing.
Okay. There are challenges ahead in business as well. We talked about in Michigan, is it a new law going into place about paid leave and so forth, making it tougher for business, not just you, but every business, right?
Essentially, it's going to impact every business in Michigan that doesn't already have paid sick leave, for sure.
Okay.
So paid sick leave is going to apply to every business in Michigan, and the way that the Supreme Court interpreted it and wrote the law is, I think, going to be harmful to businesses as well. I mean, if we just agree that, hey, paid sick leave is a good thing and somehow magically every small business can afford it, well, the way it's being implemented is not good for especially for small business who might have 5 or 6 people on a shift like myself, and an employee can be a no-call, no-show for 3 days and without anything being done, and their job is preserved. It's not good for small business, and you're going to see it in your community when, you go to the T-Mobile store and suddenly they're closed today because their employee didn't show up and they didn't have any other options.
Not what Michigan needs. You want to promote business, you would think, in a state. Because you talk to other business owners. This isn't something that is good for business.
No, it's making it more difficult to do business and be and to be profitable, and that's only going to drive up the cost of whatever widget that we sell. It's going to get more expensive, and then on top of that, part of that same law is they're going to increase the minimum wage almost $2.50 an hour. Let's say on $2.25 an hour on February 19th, and a 25% increase. For my bowling centers, that's $100,000 increase in payroll next year, and then next year in February, it's going to go up another 75 cents an hour. So that's another $33,000, and it's going to do it again the following year. And the following year, I don't think I can raise the price of my product fast enough, and I don't know at some point. It's too expensive, and so we're going to see people go out of business. And then the restaurant industry, with eliminating the tip credit over that same period of time, is going to get turned upside down. And I promise you, there are going to be restaurants that are going out of business, and we're already seeing them go out of business before it even gets implemented.
Yeah.
Just imagine how much more difficult it's going to be when those are forced onto them.
Last question. Are you optimistic? You seem like you've been through some tough times, but you keep going. What advice do you have to other business owners, too? Because it seems like you've been probably ups and downs. We all have.
Yes, we certainly have. And, I think for me, the challenge is every time I see the light at the end of the tunnel, it seems like there's some kind of government intervention that changes it. And, but at the end of the day, you just have to keep putting one foot in front of the other, and you just have to keep moving forward, because if you don't, it's not going to work.
Exactly. Thank you so much for taking the time.
It was great talking.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.